Good evening, televiewers. Many thanks for joining us on this very first edition of Prime News for the year 2023. I am Eileen. This first day of the week. It is the second day of January. You are welcome. Now, the governor of the Northwest region, Adolphe Lafrique, who followed the head of state's address to the nation during a banquet in his upstation residence, Bamenda, alongside administrative political leaders, say the president's speech portrays his determination in promoting dialogue, peace and development in the Northwest region. Charles Kebwa was a part of that banquet and now reports.
Northwest Governor Adolphe Lafrique, who followed the head of state's address at a banquet in his upstation residence alongside administrative and political leaders, Governor Adolphe Lafrique said the head of state's message to the nation portrays his determination in promoting peace and development in the Northwest.
On security issues, thanking the American government for the indictment of some of the terrorists in their country, and asking other countries elsewhere to emulate the example of the United States of America.
The people of the region, he urged, should not relent in fostering peace, given there are projects for the region after watched and listened to the head of state.
That are going to continue, mainly in the Northwest region, the road between Bafusan and Bamenda from Metesem to Bamenda, whose completion of work are eagerly awaited by the population in Bamenda. Some other projects have been mentioned, the issue of water, the issue of farm-to-market roads, the issue of electricity supply that are going to be increased.
The Anglophone crisis with U.S. arresting citizens for sponsoring amber atrocities on security matters.
And the Lord body of the United Nations, he proclaimed himself to be a peacemaker. He also insists on the decentralization process that is ongoing, step by step, and successfully, like you can see globally in the country in the Northwest with the special status.
Wishing a happy new year to the people of the Northwest, Governor Adolphe Lafrique congratulated the administrative and forces who have re-established the good relationship between the armed forces and the population.
The founder of Mountain and Prayer International Ministries, Apostle Joachim Joseph Ngong, has joined his voice to other clergies in the Northwest to encourage Christians in the region step into the new year with aspirations and hope as clergies pray for normalcy to return in the Northwest region. Get details in this report with Charles Kebwa once more from Bamenda.
The Northwest region's capital, Bamenda, since the upheaval of the socio-political crisis taking a U-turn in the region, crossing over to 2023, witnessed a new dimension at Mountain of Prayer and Power International Ministries, Aziri O Church Junction, Bamenda. Apostle Joachim Joseph Ngong prayed for normalcy to return and take center stage in Bamenda and the region this 2023.
I want to prophesy that there is peace that is coming beyond measure. Our city in the days to come will be one of the best because God himself has stepped into this city. There is hope for a tree. Even if it is cut down, there is still hope for that tree.
With a retrospect of welfare, the clergy urged Christians to pray and thank God entering 2023 for the authority God has placed over the city of Bamenda, and that by his mercy there shall be peace.
Last year we took over the city prophetically, right to hospital runabout and back to announce to the forces that are interested in human blood, you will no longer see the blood of our children again.
Ushering into the new year in Bamenda, punctuated with a march for Jesus to take over the city of Bamenda, crowned with praise and unending blessings upon the Christians this 2023.
Now on to this human interest story. The lifeless body of a young man has been found in Pala village in the Kribitu subdivision, Ocean Division of the South region of Cameroon on Saturday, the 31st day of December 2022. According to sources, the young man, who is yet to be identified, was seen few days back with wounds on his leg and head walking around the village. Catherine Ekongwe recounts.
It was a sad Saturday, the last day of 2022 for the population of Pala village in Kribitu subdivision, Ocean Division of the South region of Cameroon, as they woke up and found the lifeless body of a young man in a nearby bush. According to this eyewitness, the young man in question, who is yet to be identified, was seen few days back with wounds on his leg and head walking round the village.
Ça se passe un mardi, donc mardi suis passé, qu'on découvre un jeune en train de passer ici avec une blessure au cou.
It happened on a Tuesday because we saw a young man passing here with wounds on his legs and head, but we didn't know where he was coming from. Children tried following him behind, but he didn't present anything. 2 days after, someone came to this bush and got a bad smell, because today is the 5th day since he died. The corpse is rotten, so we just decided to bury him in this bush. So if you have not seen your brother in Kribi for more than 4 days, know that he has been buried here in Pala.
N'existe pas. Ça fait pratiquement plus de 4 jours. Il est déjà enterré à la brousse de Mpala.
Given that Mpala is a village located 5 kilometers away from the city of Kribi, inhabitants are calling on authorities that be to look into the problem of insecurity in the village of Mpala.
Je crois que je vais encore me rapprocher auprès des autorités.
I would like to call on authorities that be to look into the problem of insecurity in my village, because Mpala is 5 kilometers away from the city of Kribi. So when we have emergencies like this, before competent authorities come, it takes a lot of time. Or if we can have an authority post here in Mpala, it will solve a lot of problems, as this type of incidents will reduce.
Une diminution de ces assassinats-là, parce que c'est des cas qui deviennent déjà très récurrents.
The tragedy incident has plunged the population into fear of the unknown, lamentation and panic. However, arrangements have been made for his burial by local administrative authorities of the Ocean Division.
A special beef sale operation is currently on the way in Gaundari, Adamawa region of Cameroon. The sale is organized by the Livestock Development Corporation, SODEPA, to allow consumers to purchase good quality beef at relatively low prices. Join Gong tells us more.
Despite the end of year festivities, the exorbitant price of meat remained stagnant in the local markets. In Gaundari, a kilogram of meat with bones is sold at 2,200 francs CFA and without bones at 2,800 francs CFA. A stressful situation for households with little income. With this initiative of the Director General of the Livestock Development Corporation, SODEPA, there has been a considerable increase in their purchasing power.
Le DG a jugé donc nécessaire de mettre à la disposition de ce consommateur local une.
The Director General deemed it necessary to make available to the local consumers good quality meat at a very moderate price. That is why we chose this site. The meat sold here has not only been treated in accordance with all hygienic norms, but it is also matured meat. This is because we let it stay in a cold room for 24 to 48 hours to experience all organoleptic characteristics, notably freshness and tenderness.
La succulence et également la tendreté.
The sales are being carried out at the Gaundari Commercial Center, where a kilogram of meat with bone is sold at 1,800 francs CFA and without bone at 2,300 francs CFA.
I appreciate this initiative of SODEPA. The quality of meat here is better than what is sold in the market, given that the meat is less expensive, of good quality, well treated and clean.
La viande est d'abord moins chère, c'est de bonne qualité, bien traitée, bien propre.
The Ngaundere slaughterhouse, initiatives of this sort will come up more often and spread across the town.
And to something else, a not-for-profit making organization, Community Refugee Relief Initiative, DERB, CRRI, passionate with bringing aid to the underprivileged of our society, has wrapped up its end-of-year humanitarian visit to Cameroon after communing with some IDPs residing in Chang and Bamenda, West and Northwest regions, respectively. Get details in the upcoming report. Dr. Atancho Celestine, the board chair of Community Refugee Relief Initiative CRRI, together with the secretary of the board, Dr. Flora Atancho, and board member Malfo Rosetta Siri Ade, accompanied by their kids, Bowen and Ellen Rose Atancho, paid a working visit to Cameroon from December 22 to Tuesday, December 27, 2022. The aim of the visit was to appraise the progress made by the 62 IDPs currently being trained in various vocational aptitudes in the CRRI and Dynamic Alliance Livelihood Training Program in Chang and Bamenda, and to bring Christmas and New Year gifts to them. Dr. Atancho and team met with 31 IDPs in Chang on December 26, 2022 from Lebialem, Bui, Ngokutunja, Boyo, Menchum, and Momo divisions who fled the armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon and relocated to Chang in the west region of the country. They are being trained in livelihood skills like tailoring, hairdressing, carpentry, auto mechanics, welding, among others. After listening to their challenges, Dr. Atancho and team encouraged them to continue to be resilient as they pursue their training, not to give up in the face of the challenging political and economic hardships. We ended the one-day visit to Chang by sharing some food and non-food items to the trainees to enable them have a stress-free festive period. Same activity was carried out in Bamenda on December 27, 2022, where the CRRI team met with 21 trainees to encourage and make the festive season burden lighter on them. Talking to participants in Bamenda and Chang, they shared their experiences in the training program while expressing much gratitude to the CRRI and Dynamic Alliance team.
Now I can do a lot of things now, like doing something like a flyer, doing something like logo, and the rest. And due to all this training, now I can do most of my flyers alone.
As I came in, I had to work very hard because my fellow sisters had gone far, but I had to struggle very hard. But presently, I am so proud because it is my dream come true. That is what I actually intended to do, but I hadn't money. But presently now, I am a secretary in one school.
I've gone for the training for about 1 year, 3 months now. So it's going very well. At least we thank God and we really thank the board members, everybody that has been trying to help us. Normally we have been sitting in the house doing nothing, but now we have something doing. We really thank everyone that has put their hands to support us, thanking everyone and thanking God too. So it has been moving well.
After listening to and communing with the IDP trainees in Bamenda, Dr. Atancho and team visited the Magdalene Home Care and Training Center in Akum, Bamenda, to commune with the motherless children, bringing food and non-food items ranging from several bags of rice, cartons of vegetable oil, tomato paste, cartons of soap, and many more.
CRRI, in partnership with the Dynamic Alliance, decided to have a moment with our IDPs that we are training in Chang and in Bamenda. So we decided to get some food and non-food items for them. It was a wonderful turnout in Chang and also in Bamenda. The IDPs came out and we had an opportunity to interact with them. Some of them had finished their training and they're trying to carry on, you know, look for work. Some of them are already making money from their talent, and that is what the program is all about.
Mafo Rosetta, board member of CRRI, congratulated the Reverend sisters taking care of the children and encouraged them to continue imparting good values on them even in the difficult moments. It is worth noting here that prior to visiting Bamenda and Chang, the team had been in Douala, where they commune with over 300 IDPs residing in the Bonaberry and Bona prison neighborhoods in Douala. CRRI is considering extending the traineeship program to Douala within the next year.
On to our series on President Paul Biya's end-of-year message, the president highlighted several issues to be addressed come 2023, amongst which was the stabilization of prices of foodstuff and basic commodities. In the following report, Nai Vona reviews the economic situation of 2022 and measures adopted by President Biya to resolve these price hikes. Take a listen.
The year 2022 has had its own fair share of economic sagas, with the prices of foodstuffs and basic commodities in markets across the country skyrocketing. Concerning prices in 2022, they really skyrocketed, ranging from tomatoes, onions, and other basic stuffs. Everything was expensive, and this made it difficult for households. Truth be told, prices were very high last year. This made it difficult for the poorest Cameroonian to cope, and that is because everything was expensive. Foodstuffs like plantain, potatoes, yam and cocoyam, rice, oil, groundnuts and soap, just to name a few, are items highly demanded in households but quite expensive in markets. A bag of onion used to be 25,000 and now it's 80,000 francs. 20 liters of groundnut oil that used to be 18,000 is now 28,000. Even 20 liters of palm oil that one could get at 10,000 francs has become 22,000 francs. Cooking good food nowadays has become really difficult. For you to have a liter of groundnut oil, it's not easy, making customers sometimes to even run away. Vendors on their part blame these price hikes on a variety of factors. It's only those who do wholesale buying that can tell us if prices have been stabilized. But for now, prices are still as expensive as they were. But we pray that they get back to normal soonest.
Par exemple, comme les oignons montent parce que c'est le moment que les oignons sont chers. Bientôt, ça doit descendre.
Based on these recent hikes, which has made the purchase of basic commodities unbearable for most households across the country, the President, His Excellency Paul Biya, while addressing Cameroonians on New Year's Eve, also laid emphasis on government's vision to stabilize prices and maintain the purchasing power of consumers.
Considering the intensity of the exogenous shocks and their impact on our economy, I instructed the government to consider all options to stabilize prices at their current level and to maintain the purchasing power of consumers.
Reacting to President Paul Biya's vision of stabilizing prices, most Douala city dwellers say it's a laudable move and its realization will be a stitch in time. The move by the head of state will truly save us from what we are going through, because honestly it's not easy. So the move is laudable and we wait for results anxiously. I think the decision is good, but its implementation needs to start from the top before reaching down here. If wholesalers drop their prices, the retailers like us will do same. But if they don't, we will still remain where we are.
C'est une très bonne chose, mais il va falloir que nous-mêmes d'abord.
The head of state's decision is a good move. But you know, what is set up there is not the reality of what we have on the ground. So the president should assign mediators who will implement this decision to the latter, so that prices will be stabilized and affordable for all Cameroonians.
Ça, à la lettre, que les prix soient vraiment stables et à la bourse de tous les Camerounais.
It should be noted Cameroon's government has adopted a total of 6,345.1 billion CFA francs as budget for this year 2023, which will handle the country's socio-economic, political, health, environmental, and even cultural happenings in all Cameroon's 10 regions. Fingers are thus crossed as many anxiously await government's intervention on the problem of price hikes, as promised by the head of state in his end-of-year message.
Ewane reporting there. Now on to health. The month of January is set aside to raise awareness regarding glaucoma, which is a group of diseases that damages the eye's optic nerve and can result to vision loss and blindness over time. Bokengo Worthy Kamia reports.
Being a group of eye diseases, glaucoma occurs when the nerve connecting the eye to the brain is damaged. This is often as a result of high eye pressure, which can lead to blindness over time. Around the world, an estimated 80 million people suffer from glaucoma, with a 2.7 million going blind yearly, a number expected to rise to 5.5 million as per data from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention by 2040. Caused by chronic eye inflammation, nutrients deficiency, too much screen time, poor sleep pattern, family history, long-term use of steroid, chronic stress, as well as underlying diseases like hypertension, diabetes, and obesity, the eye condition is more prevalent in women and persons older than 40. With symptoms such as red eye, headache, head pain, cataracts, eye pain, optic nerve atrophy, nausea, vomiting, blurry vision, high light sensitivity, and more, many persons may have no sign or symptom at all till it gets to a severe stage and at the point of vision loss. Seeking to raise awareness regarding the dangers and side effects of glaucoma every start of the year, it is important for each and all to know that this debilitating eye condition can be managed by means of controlling blood pressure, maintaining healthy weight, limit and check use of steroids regularly, managing underlying diseases like diabetes, obesity, and hypertension, leading healthy lifestyle, as well as eating healthy balanced diet, together with regular eye exams at the hospital, so as to have reduced global health burden, visual impairment, and prevalence, as well as have healthier eyes all year through.
Now on to religious news. Tens of thousands of people today, January 2nd, 2023, paid their respect to former Pope Benedict XVI, who died on New Year's Eve at the age of 95. Although his reign as Pope was made of so many controversies, he is a man whose legacy will always be remembered. Julian Dambi tells us more about his unfortunate passing and other details. Take a listen.
Born Joseph Aloysius Ratzinger on April 16, 1927 in Bavaria, Germany, Pope Benedict XVI was head of the Roman Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican City-State from 19 April 2005 until his resignation on February 28, 2013. He stated ill health as main factor for his resignation. Pope Benedict's death on New Year's Eve comes as a result of his health situation. Pope Emeritus, as it is said he would like to be called after his death, is described as the main intellectual force in the Catholic Church, but was a man whose words were often criticized. For example, in 2005, the Pope listed several ways to combat the spread of HIV and AIDS, including chastity, fidelity in marriage, and anti-poverty efforts. He rejected the use of condoms, which led to criticism from public health officials, anti-AIDS activists, and victims' rights organizations. Also, the Emeritus on December 22, 2008, sent a firm message concerning gender in the wake of LGBT, in which he stated there is an important distinction between men and women, and the Church viewed the distinction as central to human nature and asked that the other be respected. LGBT groups around the world later announced they found the Pope's comments to be homophobic. His handling of sexual abuse within the Church was as well highly criticized. Despite the controversies, Pope Benedict XVI, according to so many Catholic Christians, leaves a powerful legacy for his role played in the building of the Roman Catholic Church. In 2005, he was made Grand Master of the Order of Malta, amongst other awards. Today, January 2nd, tens of thousands of people have started to pay their last respects to the late Pope at the Vatican. His body will be displayed for 3 days leading to his papal funeral. Christians and lovers of the Pope will be allowed to pay their respects until 7 p.m. each day. The viewing will be followed by a solemn and sober funeral service presided over by Pope Francis on January 5th at St. Peter's Square. It is said that Pope Benedict asked that the funeral be marked by simplicity. Pope Emeritus will be laid to rest in the tombs beneath the Basilica.
Thank you, Julian Dambi. May the soul of Pope Benedict rest in perfect peace. Now let's talk sports. Cameroon's local alliance are bracing up to participate at their 5th African Nations Championship CHAN in Algeria in the days ahead. The boys are set to leave the country tomorrow, but before reaching Oran in Algeria, they will play warm-up games in Algeria. And so Magdala Eyong Bisong explains to us details of Cameroon's participation in the CHAN. Take a listen.
The Intermediate Lions of Cameroon will participate in their 5th tournament at the African Nations Championship 2022, scheduled to run in Algeria from January 13 to February 4 this year. Cameroon eliminated Equatorial Guinea to reach the finals of the tournament. Waved by in the first round of the qualification process, Cameroon only regained momentum in the return leg game in Garoua, where Captain Do Alain Mokoko and his boys dismissed the Zalang National. Goals from Maru Swaibu and Kaibal Jawal, all from Kotong Sport of Garoua, secured the qualification for the Lions to take a 5th CHAN rendezvous out of 7. Some 22 potential tournament debutants will be in Algeria to defend the colors of the nations, with the likes of one of the most prolific defenders in the league today, Che Malone Jr., to assist Mokoko at the backline. The newcomers will sure count on the experience of CHAN 2018 players like Thomas Etabawak of PWD of Bamende and Martial Zemba Ikung of Colombe Sportif of Denja and Lobo, including Valentine Beo Bato, who participated in the last edition on home soil. At the helm of the Lions then is a new lead trainer. After Coach Ndumbe Boso in 2011, now with UMS of Loom, Martin Tungu Pile in 2016 and 2021, and current senior national team coach Rigobert Song Bahanak in 2018, 44-year-old Cameroonian ex-international player Alium Seydou is the man to take charge of the A Lions in Algeria. Cameroon has participated in all but 2 of the previous editions of the tournament. In the previous 5 editions, Cameroon reached the quarterfinals on 2 occasions in 2011 and 2016, then 4th place in 2020 on home soil, their best results so far in the history of their participation in the competition. The Intermediate Lions only failed to cross past the group stage in 2018 under the mentorship of coach Rigobert Song Bahanak. But what is for sure is that Cameroon has recorded wins in 7 CHAN games, drawn 6 and lost 4, scored 14 goals and conceded 12, keeping 9 clean sheets. The Intermediate Lions are drawn in Group E alongside Niger and Congo-Brazzaville and will begin their campaign on January 16 against Congo. But before then, we'll have to play 2 friendly games against Sudan and Uganda this week. The Lions leave for Tunisia on January 3rd, 2023.
Thank you for being a part of today's edition of Prime News over My Media Prime TV. I have been Eileen for presentation. The news was produced by Ewane and coordinated by Faith Tata. Coming up next is Prime Hour with Kum Leonard and his panelists. Have a blessed evening until tomorrow. Bye.